This lesson describes the operation of typical 70s-era inertial navigation systems such as the Litton LTN51 and the Delco carousel. Before any INS operation can take place, both AC and DC power supplies must be available from the aircraft bus bars. These may be initially provided from an external power unit or the APU. Eventually, the power must be provided by internal aircraft power from the alternators or generators. The INS Mode Selector Unit, or MSU, is then switched from off to standby. This allows aircraft power through to the INS and initiates the IN's own power supplies. With standby selected, it is now possible to enter an initial present position. Switch the MSU rotary switch to POS, which stands for Present Position. Note that the keypad has some multifunction keys. For instance, 2 is also N, which stands for North. 4 is also West. 6 is also East. And 8 is also South. In present position mode, the keypad will accept only N or S as the first key press. It will not misinterpret them as 2 or 8. Enter the present position using the format N or S, followed by degrees, degrees, minutes, minutes, decimal minutes. At the first key press, that is N or S, the Insert blue light comes on. It is both a button and a light. Now put in the latitude. Check the entry in the light emitting diode or LED display. If the entry is incorrect, use the Clear button to correct it, one space at a time. Now enter the longitude. This will be E or W, followed by degrees, 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 minutes, minutes, decimal minutes. Again, the system will accept only E or W for the next press. It will not misinterpret them as a 6 or a 4. There are only 5 digits for the latitude because the maximum number of digits for the degrees is 2, as you can't have more than 90 degrees north or south. However, there are 6 digits for the longitude because 3 digits are needed for the degrees as there are up to 180 degrees of longitude. Once satisfied that the present position that you have entered is correct, press the Insert button. The Insert light goes out and the present position is entered into the computer. Alignment can now begin. Select the MSU rotary switch to align. Alignment may take up to 17 minutes and the countdown starts when the switch is set to align. Alignment is then under automatic control by the computer and no further aircrew actions are required until it is complete. On completion, the MSU green Ready Nav light will come on. After this, the crew will switch the rotary selector to Nav when ready to move. Alignment can also take place with Nav selected on the MSU rotary switch. If, after inserting present position in standby, a double click through Align to Nav is made, the internal computer will put the system into align mode despite the switch position until alignment is complete. At this point, the Ready Nav light will come on and the system will automatically go into Nav mode without any further selection. Clearly, it is advisable to select Align or Nav as early as possible in the checklist sequence, as there will be 17 minutes to wait before the aircraft can be moved, and it would be better to do the bulk of the pre-start checks after selecting Align in order to make productive use of the time. It is possible to check on how much time remains to complete the alignment, although there is not much point. It will not make the alignment any faster. However, the facility exists during alignment by use of the desired track system status position on the CDU rotary switch. There are 2 windows on the CDU LED display, left and right. In POS and Waypoint, the left is for latitude and the right for longitude. In any other mode, the left is for the first named and the right for for the second. In desired track system status, the desired track will not be applicable at this stage because no waypoints will have been selected, but during alignment, STS gives an indication of time remaining to complete the alignment. The detail of the display varies from manufacturer to manufacturer. In some systems, the display is minutes to go to completion of alignment, and on others there is a code number that gives an indication of which substage of alignment is currently taking place. In the Lytton system, for instance, 40 indicates fine align. This gives an approximate estimate of time to go. However, the most useful way to spend the time waiting for alignment to complete would be to load the waypoints. This can be done before selecting nav. Up to 9 waypoints can be stored at any one time. To select which store to load, there is a small thumb wheel. Rotate the wheel to the appropriate store. Then select the rotary display switch to WPT. The method of entering a waypoint is exactly as for entering a present position. Repeat this procedure for the first 9 waypoints of the route. If there are more than 9 on the route, subsequent waypoints can be loaded in flight once the early ones have been overflown and are no longer required. Once alignment is complete, select Nav. The alignment is now protected and the aircraft can be taxied or pushed back. If the system operates normally, it will now remain in Nav until final shutdown. Although the INS will provide heading, track, ground speed and drift for general navigation, one of its most useful facilities is waypoint steering. A flight plan route of initially up to 9 waypoints can be entered and a steer signal to follow the route along its various legs can be generated and displayed on the flight director system, either as a guide or to the autopilot to automatically steer the aircraft along the route. The INS is not always connected to the autopilot, and therefore it is possible for the aircraft to be positioned off its desired INS track. To enter a waypoint steer, press the Track Change button. The blue lights in the Track Change button and also the Insert button light up. Then enter the pair of waypoints to steer between in the order from to. In other words, to steer from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2, enter 1, 2. The numbers 1, 2 appear in the LEDs above the Track Change button. Press the Insert button to enter them into the computer. The Track Change and Insert lights go out. If the Auto Manual Remote Selector is switched to Auto, then, on reaching waypoint 2, an automatic changeover takes place. The LED display changes to 2, 3, and the aircraft is steered along the next leg. It is normal when route flying to use auto mode and automatically change over from leg to leg. Almost all routes will require more than 9 waypoints. This is no problem. Suppose waypoints 1 and 2 have been overflown and the aircraft is now on the leg between waypoint 3 and waypoint 4. Waypoints 1 and 2 are no longer required. Waypoint 10 can be loaded into store number 1 and waypoint 11 can be loaded into store number 2. As the aircraft completes the leg from waypoint 8 to waypoint 9, the automatic changeover will go to 9, 1 for the next leg. So, provided that the waypoint stores are updated in flight by the crew when the previous waypoints are no longer needed, it is possible to run through the 9 waypoint stores as many times as is required. The alert light warns the crew of the approach of a waypoint. Otherwise, the aircraft could roll to 25 degrees of bank at waypoint changeover onto the new heading without the crew expecting it, which could cause concern on the flight deck. The exact indications vary with the model of INS and the mode selected, but in most systems the alert light gives a steady illumination at about 2 minutes to go. changing to a flashing light at 30 seconds to go. The steer signal tracks the aircraft down the centre line of the route between the two waypoints in use. If the aircraft is out to the side of the route for any reason, it will be S-turned back onto the centre line at quite a sharp angle. It is not steered directly to the next waypoint. However, there is a facility for steering directly from present position to a waypoint. This is called Waypoint 0. It is not possible to preload a Waypoint 0 because there is no 0 selection on the thumb wheel. But if the operator selects Track Change 0 to Insert, the present position at the moment of pressing Insert is inserted as Waypoint 0, and the aircraft is steered from that position directly to Waypoint 2.